Imagine it is 1 p.m. You are walking out of the examination hall. The final bell just rang. You feel like an absolute champion. You solve the hardest math problem on the paper. You are smiling as you zip up your bag. You walk over to your group of friends gathered near the gate. Everyone is excited, discussing the final answer to the massive 10-mark question. Your friend looks at you and says, "The answer was negative 45, right?" And you freeze. Your heart instantly drops to your stomach. Negative? You quickly replay the steps in your mind. You remember the complex formula. You did all the incredibly hard calculations perfectly, but at the very last step, you forgot the you forgot to carry over the minus sign. You wrote positive 45. Well, you didn't lose those marks because you didn't know the subject. You lost them because of a tiny, stupid, careless error. A sickening knot forms in your stomach. You look down at your shoes completely crushed. You think to yourself, how could I be so careless? Why does this happen only for me again and again? Friends, have you ever lost precious grades not because you didn't study hard enough, but because a silly mistake sabotaged your perfect answer? Hey there, Raghu here, certified memory coach on wheels. Welcome to my podcast. The topic of today's episode is the saboteur. 3 secrets to stop silly mistakes. Having survived a spinal cord injury, I learned that our true power is in our mind. Now I am on a mission to help students and competitive exam aspirants stop struggling with rote learning and tap into the infinite potential of their brains using proven memory techniques. That moment outside the exam hall is one of the most frustrating experiences in a student's life, right? You label them as silly mistakes, but there is nothing silly about losing a top rank because of a forgotten minus sign or a misread word. You think these silly mistakes are random accidents. They are not. They happen because of how your working memory functions under stress. When you do the hard part of a question, your brain gets exhausted and wants to celebrate early. It drops its guard right at the finish line, and that is exactly when the forgetting happens. If you want to stop bleeding marks, you need to stop trusting your relaxed brain. So, today I'm going to give you the 3 secrets to eliminate these painful, silly mistakes and protect your hard earned marks. Well, you can write this down. Secret 1: create last step traps. That is, last step traps. Don't trust your brain at the finish line. When you're running a race, the most dangerous moment is right before you cross the finish line. Your brain thinks the work is done, so your focus drops to zero. This is when you forget to write the units, mix up plus or minus, or forget to round off the decimal. You know, you must create last step traps. Do not trust your brain at the end of a long answer. A last step trap is a mandatory mental checkpoint. Are you getting it? It's a mandatory mental checkpoint, a checklist you force yourself to hit before you are allowed to move to the next question. So it's a checklist. Whenever you finish a problem, physically tap your pen on the paper 3 times, and each tap is a trap. Tap 1, did I check the sign? Tap 2, did I write the correct units? Tap 3, did I actually answer the specific question they asked? By building this mechanical trap, you catch your brain right as it tries to go to sleep. Now let's come to secret 2. Highlight high risk zones. Know your weak patterns. Silly mistakes are almost never random. you have a pattern. Maybe your brain always skips the word not in multiple choice questions, MCQs, I mean. Maybe you always mess up the multiplication of fractions. You need to identify your high risk zones. Go through your past three to five exam papers. Look only at the silly mistakes. What is the pattern? Once you know your pattern, you treat it like a minefield. When you're reading a question paper and you see the word incorrect or accept, your brain should trigger an alarm. Take your pen and aggressively draw a box around those words. Physically highlight your high risk zones before you even start calculating. When you make the invisible dangers highly visible, your brain cannot ignore them. Now let's come to the step 3. Secret 3. Practical recall under pressure. Why do you solve a problem perfectly at your study desk but make a basic addition error in the exam hall? Because your study desk has zero pressure. In the exam hall, adrenaline floods your system, cortisol spikes. When you are stressed, your working memory actually shrinks. Your brain literally has less space to hold on to the small details. You must inoculate your brain against pressure. Stop practicing in a relaxed, comfortable environment. You need to practice recall under pressure. Set a brutal time. If a question normally takes 10 minutes to answer, give yourself 5 to 7 minutes. Force your brain to retrieve the formula, calculate the steps, and hit your last step traps while the clock is ticking loudly in the background. When you train your memory under artificial pressure, artificial stress, the real exam feels like a walk in the park. When you stop trusting your brain at the finish line and start building traps, those silly mistakes disappear. You finally get the marks your hard work actually deserves. Friends, were you able to connect with this scenario? Yeah? Have you ever walked out of an exam hall only to realize a silly, tiny error ruined your perfect score? I want you to tell me in the comments below. Which of these 3 secrets are you going to use in your next practice test to catch your silly mistakes? Please do share your comments. I read every single one of them. So that is my story for today. I am Raghurama Bhat, your memory coach on wheels. If you connected with this episode, hit that subscribe button, follow, and join the community. Keep building those traps. Protect your focus, and I will catch you up in the next episode. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.